Moshiri, and I'm here with a friend of mine all the way from Ghana, a traveling photographer himself. Karibu Nairobi. How are you?
Asante, brother. How are you too?
I'm good. How are
Oh,
you doing?
I'm good. I'm good. Habari.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
How are
Yeah.
you finding Nairobi so far? I know this is
Ah.
not your first time in Nairobi. It's become
Um.
your second home.
Nairobi. I would say it's good. It's great. At least I can see Deden Kimati over there smiling at me,
Uh-huh.
saying, "Hey, it's safe here." I
Yes,
can see Tomboya somewhere there, so telling me that this is Africa. This is home, man.
absolutely,
Yes,
absolutely.
and who again? I see Simba Street telling me that Africans we are lions, man.
Absolutely. We are
Yeah,
the kings.
we are the kings, man.
Yeah,
Yes.
so talk to me through your journey as a traveling photographer, just like from your name, a
Mhm.
traveling photographer. The first time you and I met, we met at a leather workshop,
Yeah.
and I got to know you a little bit better regarding your work.
Mhm.
Can you just talk to us about the concept of the traveling photographer, what you do, and what inspired that journey?
Oh, okay. So I want to say thank you very much, brother. Yeah. So being a traveling photographer has given me the opportunity to actually learn so much, not only from Ghana, West Africa, but also cross borders and still learning. You know, and the traveling photographer is all about bringing Africa together. How do you bring Africa together? We have to bring Africa together by having a borderless country, okay, by having free trade among ourselves and the rest, where there won't be much restrictions. You get Africa, we have one of the best natural resources that we need to take advantage of. Okay, for instance, in West Africa, we have the cocoa, we have the black soap, we have the coconut oil. We have a whole lot of things. Okay, we have the shea butter as well. We have the Ankara, as you guys call them. We have the what's the name? The kente,
Again,
right?
yeah.
Good. And then we have the smoke also. Okay, the smoke, the kente are heavy clothings, which are mostly good for the East African community because it's so heavy. It's just like the jacket you wear here. Okay, so interestingly, if we have these borderless countries, right, or borderless Africa, and then we are able to trade among ourselves, West Africa can bring those their Ankara, their fabrics, their kente and stuff like that, where we also tend to get like not the mandazi, the macadamia. We get a whole lot of things also from here. Okay, also to that side. With that notwithstanding, we are able to trade among ourselves, and not also forgetting my favorite artifact here, which is Ajoa, right? And Ajoa in West Africa is Owari, right? So yeah, I love.
I understand that you have traveled across
Mm.
more than 7 countries across Africa. But
Yes.
let's talk about Nairobi.
Mhm.
What is the some of the things that have really caught your eye about this beautiful city of ours?
Okay, so I won't just say Nairobi, but I'll say Kenya as a whole, right? So one thing that I have fallen in love with as far as Nairobi, Kenya is concerned is the fact that you are able to build without destroying nature, right? So you see where we are seated, there are a lot of trees embedded in, okay, or maybe you've been able to build cautiously without destroying nature,
Yeah,
okay? And those are some of the things that I would say I've really fell in love with. Conservation is one key thing, right? How you're able to conserve nature and stuff like that. But then, mind you, if you come to West Africa, precisely Ghana, we are busy mining cocoa. Sorry, we are busy mining gold. I'm not saying it's a bad thing, right? But then, how we are doing it is what is destroying the environment. That like there's a whole lot of forest depletion going on. Okay, so in the next 30 years or 20 years to come, we might even end up losing our water. We have to import water, you see. And I also love the fact that you guys are conscious about the blue economy, the green economy, or the green energy and stuff like that, you see. Even though you have less sunshine here, right? But you are able to channel the little sunshine you have into solar power system.
so comparing East Africa and West Africa, you were telling me that in West Africa, the sunshine there is a little bit
It's on the higher side.
harsh.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
harsher than
yeah.
what you
I
found
think
here.
I think I can say it's like times two of what was it in Mombasa, or maybe almost same as
Yeah,
Mombasa. Yeah. So
yeah.
I realize in Mombasa it's like if you want to compare both countries, yeah, Ghana is hot, and you can compare to that of Mombasa, all right, or maybe a little hotter than Mombasa. That is because conservation is one thing that we are not considering. Even though we say we are considering, but like it's not purposely as done here. Okay, where you don't cut trees and stuff like that, and then you even like build within trees. Okay, which is I know in the architectural industry it's called biofolium, I think. Yeah, yeah, right. So I actually enjoy that aspect of it, but where when you come to the CBD in Ghana, we have actually lost it because like we've graded, like we've just
It's concrete jungle.
yeah, concrete jungle, and it's super hot, right?
Okay.
So yeah, those are some of the things that actually makes me love Nairobi and then Kenya as a whole. You see, and of course, I love your beachfront. Even though you have a little small beachfront, but you're able to make good use out of it. You
Able to
know,
capitalize on
yeah,
it.
capitalize on it. You see, and I love the fact that you have one of the cleanest and neatest beachfront in Mombasa, right? Where in Ghana we are still trying to get to that point. You
Oh,
see,
okay.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
All
yeah.
right. So one of the questions that I wanted to ask you is,
Mhm,
as someone who is interested in history and culture,
mhm,
I'm sure coming all the way from West Africa to East Africa,
mhm,
you have obviously experienced our culture here.
mhm,
What would you say? Because in West Africa, from my research and from the things that I've obviously seen,
mhm,
not been there yet, but I have been trying to read about West Africa and Africa in general.
mhm.
You are very, very keen about your culture. You have been able to maintain your culture. What would you say has shocked you when you came to East Africa and specifically maybe in Nairobi, Kenya, with regard to culture, our African culture, our African culture, so to say?
I have taken it upon myself to actually go around Africa and then showcase what we have as Africans. Because in West Africa, for example, we have actually preserved and kept our culture, even
Yes.
till date, right? And one of the key things I would say is the fact that in West Africa, you don't greet or give something to somebody with your left hand. It's an insult. You have to use the right hand. Okay, so I go to the supermarket to buy stuff, and then they just give me with the left hand. I'm like, what? What is this? You know. But then of
Yeah,
course you also have to understand that it is how
culture.
it's the is a you're in a different culture or you're in a different area, right? So you also have to actually adjust to it. And there are times that you are walking and then you could be in twos walking and then somebody will just come and pass in between the two of you. Where in my culture, the moment you pass in between the two of the people, it's seen as bad homage. Yeah, so you have to now reverse, come back, and then turn around, run, and then say, "I refuse to die." You know, those kind of thing. Yeah,
Oh, all right.
yeah, but then over here, I realized two people can be working and then someone from nowhere, it doesn't matter, an elderly, a young person, they just pass in
Pass.
between you. Or they can even budge into you and then without even saying sorry and then you all walk away freely. And, you know,
Yeah.
yeah, those were some of the things. But one great thing is that we have also kept our culture to the extent that we have we weave we weave, what's the name, our clothing, right? Which is called the kente or the smoke or fugu, right? And it's more thicker than as compared to
Masai Shukas
the
that we
Masai
know
shukas
normally.
that yeah you use
Okay.
here, yeah. And of course, I realized that, and when I got here, I always ask myself, so what can we do as Africans to actually bring things from east to west or from west to
West to
west?
East.
So, in simply put, what's the name? The free continental trade.
Trade area.
Yeah, how are we taking advantage of some of these things? You get it? Yeah, right. Yeah, and of course, also we also have our culture and. Our funerals is one great thing that people will actually always remember. But then of course, we also do this thing. What's the name? We are now trying to copy and copy blindly. So a cup that is supposed to be laid in state to have a final befitting burial and stuff like that.
Yeah.
People will say, okay, because he happens to be a matatu driver or because he happens to be a border driver, they'll have to
I've
put him
seen.
on a motorbike, which is not part of our culture, right?
Oh, it's not.
No, those are not part of our culture.
Uh-huh.
Yes, even though we honor the dead and then we celebrate funerals and stuff like that, right? But then, of course, you see us dressing our regalias, right?
Yeah.
To actually showcase what we have as Africans. You see, yes.
Yeah.
But with regards to those funny things that they come to, those are not part of it.
Oh, so that is something that has
That is something
maybe
that
has grown up, has come up in the recent times.
yes, yes, yes. One thing is that we make so much money from funerals, right? So, I think people want to adapt new strategies of making money from funerals, and they come up. Yeah. So, we have a lot of interesting cuisines in West Africa, precisely Nigeria, Ghana. Okay, so we have the cassava bali addition, which is called gari, and then you end up having like some like swallow, eba, yeah, and then we eat it with egusi soup. I'm sure you've heard of egusi soup before, yeah. And then we have the bankun, we have the brown ugali, okay, which is called kokonte. It's made from cassava. We have the eto. Eto is made from plantain. Like we mash the plantain, so it looks like um, like ugali kind of. And then we have our various different soups. Now, one interesting thing is our soups are a mixture of different meats, right?
Yes,
Assorted
yes.
meats,
I saw that.
yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
that's one thing I was actually reading it about last night
Hmm.
about how was it? I was some. It was a Nigerian who was
Hmm.
speaking about it, and they were saying they have even fish, beef,
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
chicken in the same
Same,
pot. And I was
yeah,
asking,
with crab, you
how can
know.
you cook the same? It's not something I've seen here in Kenya.
Yeah, yeah. And no, it's there, it's there. We want variety. Okay, yeah. Variety is the spice of life.
It is. It
Right,
is. It
right,
is.
right. Yes. And then when we move away from food, we also have the coconut. So depending on where you go to, the world come with coconut, and then you see coconut on the streets all the time. Yeah. Now, aside that also, we have our national parks. I think about 4, 5, or 7 national parks. But the biggest of all is the Mole National Park, where people come to see the elephants. Okay, yeah. And aside that, we have a lot of dungeons, slave dungeons or castles. Yeah, and the castles actually links up to way back in history when the Muzungus or the Wazungus or the Brunis or the whites, the Europeans, the slave masters came and then in the form of trying to do trade and the
Trade.
rest,
Yes.
buy goods and stuff like that. They realized we Africans were very strong. So what they did was actually to now start human slavery, to in a form of getting labor to go work in their plantations and the rest. Yeah, so slavery then came to being, and this is what has actually helped divided Africa into so many.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah, that is a very interesting conversation. Again, we are in Nairobi. I'm here with the traveling photographer as he takes us through his journey. And as we wind up, what would be your parting shot after going through this journey, going across Africa, facing different challenges like visa restrictions and all that? What would you tell us?
So I will say with regards to being an African, we should be Africans with a clear mind and purpose, right? So our leaders, for example, this goes to our leaders in particular. I think we should have that dialogue of having a borderless country where we can be able to trade among ourselves. And when you're in the state, right, and then you're traveling to other parts of the state or other parts of the world, it's easy to travel, but then it's difficult here. Why is it difficult for me to travel from Tanzania to maybe Rwanda or to South Africa or to Malawi? Okay, it shouldn't be that difficult, but here in Africa, it's very difficult. So it has made it not even possible for us to even trade among us or get to know. Because one thing I've realized is Kenyan, they speak Swahili, right?
Yes.
You go to Tanzania, they speak the same Swahili.
Yes.
Okay, and then you go to Malawi, they speak the Swahili, but it's a little bit different.
A little bit different because
Yeah,
they border Tanzania on the southern side.
exactly. So why should we actually have these borders, imaginary borders? Meanwhile, we speak the same language. There are Maasai's that cuts across, if I'm not mistaken, from Rwanda all the way to
Tanzania,
Tanzania.
Kenya,
Yeah, and then we also have the Luos all the way from Sudan down
Uganda,
to
Kenya. Yeah,
yeah,
actually, yeah.
yeah. So why should we have these imaginary borders and then it's actually hurting our growth, our development, and then the circular economy as well. So I think that is one thing we need to really look at, and then how we can also trade among Africans. And of course, my younger brother Wadumaya is married to a Kenyan. Okay, and again also tells you that yeah, he's not the first to do that, and he won't be the second. Our first president of Ghana married somewhere all the way from Egypt. Okay, and again in Zimbabwe, the late Robert Mugabe's first wife was coming from Ghana.
Oh, she was
Yeah,
Ghanaian.
yeah. So um, we have to find a way of like just having a borderless
Borderless Africa.
Africa. Yes. Yes.
That is the traveling photographer in Nairobi. Check out this conversation that we've had on his channel. See you soon.